Hey, fight fans, welcome back to Carl Cruz MMA. Today, we're with a special guest. My guest today, he is a UFC veteran. He is Slava Clause. He is Mr. Slava Borshchev. Slava, what's going on, my friend? How are you doing?
Going on, living the dream. Thank you. How are you?
Ben? You've been doing this for quite a while now. You've fought at some of the biggest shows in the world. Obviously, had a great run in the UFC. Train over at Team Alpha Male with a bunch of killers. For you, started off in Russia. What was that whole transition like? What was it like starting off in Russia, moving your whole life to the United States, trying to trace this crazy dream in mixed martial arts?
So the first thing is, as soon as I become a full MMA fighter, I regret so bad. I grew up in Russia and I never wrestled. That was the stupidest mistake I ever did. So it's almost like world wrestling capital in the world, and I never wrestled. So I'm like 9, 10 hours away from Dagestan. That's where I grew up, and I never wrestled. So my transition actually it's I really enjoy my own story, like my own journey in USA. I really love it because the first of all, I never was planning to stay here in USA. Like, so there's never was a goal. So in my head, I was thinking, okay, I'm gonna train and fight here, but live back in home. So that was my whole idea. But very quick, I realized it's not possible. That was really tough. That was expensive. There was so many rules I didn't realize. I never knew you need a special visa for fighting. So that was a mess. And I would say the main reason why I stuck here it's Uriah, Uriah Faber. So because he kind of like he opened some sort of opportunities to me, which is like I would be dumbass idiot if I would say no. So and I and he always believed in me, so he pushed me just enough. I would say that's how my American journey started with like because of Uriah. So
You mentioned that you trained over with your favor, Team Alpha Male, some of the best in the world. Why there? How did your journey lead you to finding Uriah?
so I lived in Moscow for last 2 years. When my daughter was born, I realized like now I start getting some problem with money. So there's completely different kind of responsibility. And it's funny because I used to work with the guys who worked a lot around MMA. And so they took me sometimes to watch the fights, and we went to the bar in Moscow in downtown. And there was, I believe there was McGregor Aldo fight. So Irish dude against Brazilian dude. So why would Russians even care, right? In Moscow, but there was a whole gym full, like sorry, not gym. You probably can call it pub, right? There was like a pub. So, but there was cool one. It's like a theater. So there was a lines. You got the beer and the watch in the theater. That was cool. So and I was like so impressed. He won like 15 seconds or so. Like whoa, like that's thing getting big. And I just and I was keep trying to make any money in kickboxing, and there wasn't really any money there. Like even when my daughter was born, so I didn't took her from the hospital. I was fighting in China to make some money. So and so I asked my uncle, like told him my idea. So I'm thinking about to go into UFC, and so I never wrestle. Like I was like 27 years old at that time. So sound like my wife had no even idea what UFC is, what MMA is. So like, okay, let's take all money we have and go to America. So and I left my family, came here. Like I think the idea why there was a Uriah Faber gym because one of my friends he kind of understood about MMA. He was following it, and he told me what like Team Alpha Male is very young team, like great team. He said they mostly wrestlers, so and he said you might be will be kind of useful for them too because I was high level kickboxer and not just that like so I had a big experience to work with high level coaches in kickboxing, which is actually how we started. So I started as a coach at Team Alpha Male. So and like yeah, that was a whole idea. I didn't know. I barely knew who's Uriah Faber is to be honest. Just because my friend told me. Like I never really follow MMA. I knew like I think I knew Chuck Liddell. uh, Spider-Man, Anderson Silva, John Jones, and Fedor. That's probably. I didn't even know Habib, and I barely knew McGregor just because he was on TV all the time. So I didn't really follow MMA. So the and I knew. Oh, wait a second. I knew Clay Guida from video game because he had such a funny hairstyle. I always play him. So that's a couple guys I knew. That's all. And I went there. Like and never regretted since then.
It's kind of crazy when you look at how quickly mixed martial arts has grown and evolved. 15, 20 years ago, MMA wasn't legal in every state. People thought it was criminal, barbaric, wild, wild west, activities. And now so many people watch it. MMA is as big as baseball. It's as big as football. And you have all these casual fans that watch it every single weekend. And, I think they look at the McGregors, the Fabers, the Kamaru Usmans, and they're like, wow, it must be unbelievable to be a fighter. This is the greatest life ever. Little they know, battling it out on the regional scene. You're losing money. You're not making much money. Even when you make it to the UFC, you're not making millions of dollars quite yet. You have the platform to do it, but it's still a rise. Throw a wife in there. Throw a kid in there. There's a lot of sacrifices. You have to pay to train. You have to get up early, train, deal with it almost every single day. Miss all these weddings, anniversaries, holidays, all this stuff. Dedicate your life to try to chase the dream. You've been doing this for quite a while, man. What's made you keep punching, keep kicking through it?
Look, that's the thing. So the problem is, so I'm not quite famous enough to people know the whole story, and I bet pretty much every single fighter has a story. But if you like MMA fan and you used to like how I knock people out and make a dance, and for last couple fights you kind of upset about my performance and you maybe even give up on me, just remember. So I did my MMA debut in 2019. Never wrestled before this. Haven't fought for a year later. And then my MMA debut was an Indian reservation against a guy in basketball shorts. We paid this guy to fight me because we couldn't find any fights for me. And later, the whole year, we couldn't find any fights for me. So, and somehow during the pandemic, my fights finally started getting going. So, and at the end of 2021, I walk into UFC, almost like broke this fucking door. So remember, like Dana White used to be like he was pumped, and my first MMA like UFC fight, I won by knockout, got the performance of the night. So like in technically the whole fights before the like the one I fought with against a Peruvian guy. So except that's all the fights. If I not lost, I got the bonus. So, like, I mean, the MMA is like extremely hard, fast growing sport. My last opponent, 24 years old, and I'm fighting since 2002. I'm fighting almost as much as he live. So as long as he live in it. So yeah, it's very tough, fast growing sport. But I'm still here, guys. Like I'm still alive. Even if it's won't be UFC, I'm not sure if I'm ready to quit. Like I only start kind of understand this sport, and also nobody really realized like this is my third trip to America. Like the first trip, I left USA with nothing. My second trip, I sold my car, took the last money from my family, came here, and in 2 months I tore my meniscus. I went back to Russia to fix it. So and clearly, I think I was telling about this in a Ariel Helvani show in New York. I forgot how I made the third trip. So and because I'm such a terrible person, I forgot this. Uh, Somehow I found the picture, like so, which I did to make sure I will never forget this. My grandmom gave me money, just enough for the trip to make the trip. So it's I don't. She's not the actually super rich lady. She raised me. I grew up with my grandmom. I was accident baby. I grew up with my grandmom. So she gave me this money for my last ticket. So and then since then, like I never left USA really. So and that was just enough money for trip. But later, Uriah took care of me. He gave me a job. He gave me everything. He actually helped me with to bring my family to USA. Helped me with green card. Even Dana White helped me with green card. So thank you, thank you UFC. Thank you. And so that trip was crazy. And I was already not the youngest fighter. So, and while chasing all of that, like I lost a lot of life energy too. That's not really easy. Like just to, I mean, train, be in shape, and like especially compete in such a high level. I'm so glad. I remember before my last victory, so we had a interview, and one of the journalists, unfortunately I forgot his name, he's one of my favorite. So he asked me like how it is like to learn how to wrestle right away in the highest level. So technically, I never had a break. So I have to learn wrestling from the highest level right away. So I never had like easy fights to build my record, except the first one. So like I jumped right in. My debut in LFA, I fought against a guy. His nickname was Anabolic Arab or so. So he clearly just wrestler, like 100% wrestler. So like I mean I'm not sure how good it is. Is he like? But he was pro wrestler. So and I have to deal with it from the very first time in the UFC. Like oh sorry in UFC in MMA. Same in UFC. As soon as I jump in UFC, like my first fight, I was against a guy. He's actually grappler. So now I always have to deal with it. I little bit wasn't expected from DKC. But again, like you know what I mean. So it's really tough sport, but I feel like I'm getting better. So even in my last fight, I had the longest time on top compared to all my fights together, probably like in a one round. So step by step, but we're getting there. We're getting there.
You mentioned you've been doing this since 2002. 20 years ago, 25 years ago, obviously the sport, nothing what it is now. When you first started, do you have any stories maybe of fighting outside in bars, barns, mystery opponents, bad medicals, anything crazy from back in the day?
It's so funny. Like I usually don't really like to talk about it in public, but the funny just because we just had my friend Dwight. Like we telling him a story how we had some funny fights um, back in home. Some of them right in front of my girlfriend. So because me and my wife, we high school sweethearts, like we already been together forever. Like I believe couple more years, and we will be together more than we weren't. So like yeah. So and we just it's funny. Yeah, we did fight a lot, and so that's one thing I haven't missed from my hometown, from Russia, because in some like unfortunately Russians pretty rude. Like it's and we almost proud of this to being rude, and I wasn't rude at all. And for some reason, a lot of Russians take politeness as a weakness. And I never looked like even like right now I probably ugly enough to people think twice before they mess with me. But I used to have a hair, no beard, used to be skinny, no like ears, normal ears, and people never took me serious, especially because I always like smile. I always been American in this point. I always smile, hey, what's up? So, but one thing I did have, I never talk. So as soon as it turned to argue, I was punching right away. I never thought. So I was kind of like that. Of course, I would grow it. Now I getting way better. Now probably only one way you can force me to fight if you pay me. Otherwise, I just call the police. So no, but yeah, we used to fight a lot. That was crazy. I mean, thank God we saved. To be honest, only one thing I have, like as a Californian guy, only one thing I really have missed from Russia, like really bad. So me personally, I used to beat the shit out of a couple guys so bad for peeing on public. I really have missed it. Like I beat the shit out of them so bad. Like, and I can bet if police would come, they would help me. Back in home, they would be like that. But I mean, now I guess I have to play new rules. I respect America. I wish all immigrants would do that. When you move to new place, you have to respect these rules. You have to play this game. Otherwise, go home.
You made your UFC or your Contender Series debut, obviously taking on Chris Duncan. Very beautiful finish there. But do you remember where you were when you got the phone call that you were getting the opportunity to fight on the Contender?
Yep, I remember. It's first time I got my mental sickness probably. Like I actually in some point I gave up. Like in some point because so we had a big victory in Miami. That was such a cool fight against like very scary opponent. So that was my night. So there's no way I would let it go. And Uriah sent a picture and video to Dana, and Dana said, "Oh, cool, contender series," and that's it. I thought, "Cool, win contender series." I came back, train like, "Yeah, cool, cool," and I was completely out of money, but I thought it's okay. Contender series will come soon, and there wasn't any use. No news, no news. And I'm like, shit, what the fuck is going on? I started keep asking Uriah, and Uriah, I don't know. We'll see, we'll see. So, and I heard, bam, Mac Mellot and contender series. I'm like, I say, wait a second, what about me? So, and but nothing. Again, there's no news, and I getting so sad. And it's the same night. Oh, that was the morning. So that we had a practice, and I was bare feet, and Clay had wrestling shoes, and his wrestling shoes stuck between my toe and like the toe and next toes, and it's tore like this, like my skin. That was terrible. Like Uriah said, he never seen anything like that. That was terrible. Like I was bleeding a lot. So and I spent the last money for to fix it. I went to surgeon Dr. Goggins. I think he live in Austin now. If you ever need a plastic surgeon, make sure you go there. He's the best ever. So and I was sitting at home, and my wife just get a birth, second baby. So and she technically took care of two kids, me, and that was terrible. I was completely broken, completely. Thank God my friends gave me a job. Somehow they kind of helped me. Blue Goose, I will remember you forever. So and that was easy job. Like I was just sitting and like helping. Like that was very easy. So and I started getting back to life a little bit. And as soon as I start walk normal, they took me to do a little different stuff, and it was technical, like very dirty thing. Like I was take care of like trash, and I remember I was going home all dirty, like sweat, and I'm like, "Fuck, I almost 30. Like I'm educated guy. Like I feel like I could be lawyer back at home. I'm like, I have like I'm world champ. I have amazing relationship in Russia in my hometown. Like everything is awesome. Like what the fuck I'm doing here? Like it's never meant to be for me to stay in USA. Like only one thing I was thinking about is UFC. That's it. So and I shaved my beard, shaved my head, went to Uriah. Like Uriah still keep making fun of me. He keeps saying I was shave my eyebrows too. So and I told him, look, Uriah, like I don't think I can do it no more. Like if you want me to fight, let's do at least one FC or Bellator or so. Like because I don't think I would able to do that. And Uriah always super nice, super chill. But for some reason he said no. Like we will be in UC. I told you we'll be in UC, and like that's it. I'm like okay. And I just start training and like, okay, fuck it, like just start almost dreaming every night. Okay, tomorrow he will text me, tomorrow he will call me, and one day I woke up, like in a couple days later, and there was a text, contender series, October 12th. And since then I didn't even watch my opponent. Like okay, fuck it, I'm on. And I know I will be in UFC. I knew I will be in UFC. It's like nothing about Chris Duncan. Chris Duncan is a fucking scariest guy ever. And in fact, he won a contender series next year by knockout in the first round. So, and but that was just my night. Like I was mentally broken enough to never let it go. So I was ready for everything.
No, you're the type of guy has made a reputation for yourself in the UFC as being that fan favorite. You don't even go out there, you always look for the finish. You pick up some great knockouts. If you get a knockout, we see some dance moves. Do you take a lot of pride in being that type of guy who always goes out there and it's never a boring fight when you're fighting?
Sorry, would you repeat the
Do
question?
you take a lot of pride in being one of those guys where it's never a boring fight when you go out there?
Yeah, yeah. When I hear stuff like that, I think so. Before I fought Nazim, I had some weird mental struggle. Like so, I really was balancing. Like, should I keep fighting or not? Because everything went really hard to me. Like, so like I just was thinking maybe I should use the tools I do have, like go to university or wherever, like just building my life around it. And when I went to fight Nazim, like the first it was this dream, Madison Square Garden. It was something I was dreaming when I was a kid. like, oh shit, Madison Square Garden, that no way. And like, and I every second in New York when I walk, and I remember I used to watch movies when I was a kid. I saw this in the movies. I went even to the Balto, the dog Balto, the statue. I even went there. So because I remember when I was a kid, I used to love this cartoon, and I'm like, bro, like I have reached all of that. I went to a really Helvani show. Uriah shared his time with me. So I went to the Peacebing podcast, and podcast, like, I mean, that was so much fun. Peacebing make fun with me, like on me. He make me dance there. So like, that was so awesome. And I like, look, everything of this I have reached just by never quitting on fighting. So like, and after this amazing fight, that was one of the biggest card like ever, and we got the fight of the night. Like, and people keep texting me. So I got some texts like from multiple guys from different countries. I'm not kidding you. That was the best compliment I ever heard. They said, if my kids will ever ask me what MMA is, I would show them this fight, Nazim and my Zim fight. And I'm like, shit, I was so pumped. I'm like, you know what? I think I'm not ready to quit. I think I'm not ready. That's so cool. So yes, of course, the feedback is very important for me, and I took a lot of pride. Like,
The last time we saw you out was against Tom Nolan just a couple weeks ago. Big card with Duplessis and Sean Strickland. Obviously didn't go your way, but what are some of the takeaways? What are some of the positive takeaways that we have from that contest?
so the first of all, I was preparing a little different way. Uh, this time, I a little bit trust myself more. This time, less listen to coaches, uh, or at least if I listen to coaches, only in the thing which I don't know. So, like, if they talk about think, for example, if it was conversation between think I used to know my whole life, and like they told me something not against it, but something I already know, I would, okay, you know what, I think I would better do this way because I know that. And if they tell me something new, I would pick it up. Okay, I would decide to take it. So there was like technically mostly my camp last time. And also I started work with a new wrestling coach, Cody Linden. So, and he started listening me a lot and start building start answering my questions, which has helped me a lot. I was so happy about that. And I think the most positive things I would take from the last fight, I felt like I probably should wrestle him. I never knew I can wrestle. So I never realized I'm ready. Like I was able to wrestle him. Like I was trying so hard to get away from wrestling, but actually I probably should wrestle, especially in the middle of the second round. I just didn't know I can wrestle. And he was very smart too, because I was expecting from him, like as usual, when you watch his fights, he's always do a lot of pressure. But with me, he was super smart. He started backing it up, fire from the far distance, but as soon as I get close enough, he started wrestle or clinching. That was very smart. He's actually a smart guy. I give him a lot of respect. That was smart. So uh, only couple things I was really upset about, that I forgot my kicks. Like so, when I was a kickboxer, that was my philosophy from my hometown school. After punch, you kick. After kick, you punch. And for some reason, I just stopped kicking. I don't know why. That was a most sad thing since my last fight. I was so upset about that, and I also think I was over focused on a knock him out. That was a little bit the problem is too. So I was trying to knock him out so bad, I forgot about timeline. So I stopped thinking of time. I just was like chasing him. Okay, now, and I just forgot the time goes away. So, but
Now
still, I,
going,
I I see a lot of improvements.
now going forward, what's next for you? When do you want to be back out there in a perfect world?
I need a clearance, right? Clearance, how it goes from the doctor, because my knees. I've always checking out my knees. It's always, you never know. It's could trick you, because I start wrestle pretty late, and I mean probably a lot of wrestlers have a problem with knees anyway. So and sometimes it's bothered me, and I'm not really used to it. So I used to be healthy, so and I just need a clearance. But as like I'm still in good shape, and now I work with Josh a lot, and regardless, I work for him. Work for him because he's such a dangerous dude. Make me stay in real good shape. So, and I think as soon as I get a clearance, I would fight. Like I wish I would fight before summer, but it's more likely I would fight during the summer.
For you at this stage in the career, what's the ultimate goal?
So that's my main mental fights right now. So because I still have this some sort of ambitious, and every time when I'm not succeeded, I feel like it's another. I would say like when some like the life teasing me, like you better try, you better try, you better try. My main goal was from the first time, from like before I even get to UFC, this was just money. Like I would like to get as much money as is possible. But when I get a good feedback from fans, when I see some fights which excited me and I'm proud of it, when I get an ass whooped of the young dudes, I don't know. It's like it's forcing me. Like, should I prove myself and others? I actually like I worth it. Like, I mean, I can't go further. So I'm still balancing. I don't really have a like. Let's say main goal is make money and build a name for retirement. But maybe a couple more fights. I will realize if I would chase a belt or not.
For you, do you feel that fighting is more mental than it is physical?
Oh, it's 100%. Look, the funniest part, like I'm like 33, and I don't think I ever felt that strong. I'm strong as fuck right now. Like I don't think I ever been that strong. Like you clearly need to kill me to stop. Sometimes that's how I feel. Like even with Chase Hooper, like if referee wouldn't stop, I would fight till I die. I don't give a fuck. But the thing is that when I was 18 or 20, I wasn't thinking about anything but fighting. I was just 100% in my head. Like I was sitting, look at the strangers walking around, and think, "Oh, what if I would fight this guy? What I would do if I would nothing but fighting." I was watching nothing but fighting. I never watched even news. Like I'm not kidding you. I never watched even regular news. Never watched TV. Nothing. Fighting, movies, and my girlfriend. That's it. Nothing. So and now I'm like almost 30. So like it's this the hard part. So it's kind of like it's not about me anymore. Now it's like I have even though when I try play PlayStation, so I sit and play PlayStation, my son right away start jumping in my head, bouncing in my head. Like daughter asks something, oh, would you check my homework or this or this? So like there's not about me anymore. So in this case, yeah, it's all about mental, all mental. Like I think I'm not sure if I wish I could say this joke in English. Let's put it like all this tiredness and hardness wherever it's all deep state fake shit. There is nothing. There's no tiredness. You cannot be tired. This is bullshit. It's all in your head. You cannot be tired. It's only in your head. But the problem is if you tired mentally, nothing can help. I don't know. You might be need somebody to fix it. But physically, it's nothing. I've been on boat already a couple times. I always make a fun. So I've been on boat. I've been fishing only twice, and that was very easy, light, chill with friends. But I keep making fun like I'm real sea wolf now, like you guys. I can land guys. You have no idea, guys, what you're talking about. The life is easy. I've been through shit, real shit, you know.
All right, Slava, last question for you, my friend. What has been the biggest thing that you've learned about yourself from your whole journey in mixed martial arts?
I realize I have a lot of think I can proud of myself, and I don't have to be shy about that. So I was raising in some way like as a let's say kind of Christianity way. So which if you feel pride, you better shut up. So like it's not good. Which is I agree. That's how it's supposed to be. You need to be humble. Like it's and I agree. But sometimes when you pass through the shit, like, and if you feel like tired, or if you feel like if people around make you feel like, oh, you might not do this, you might not able to do this, you need to remind yourself, no, you actually tough as fuck. Like, and I am. Like, I know I'm tough. Like, I know I'm proud of like all my American journey. That's actually one of the reasons why I really love America. Like truly love. It's not about government. It's not about like some like I always it's so funny to me like when some immigrants get a citizenship. It's like since I step on this land, I feel this freedom like a spirit. What the come on, guys, what the fuck? Stop this shit. No, it's all about my own personal journey. People about around me. Like it's nothing about politic at all. It's just I love America because of Americans. Thank you, Americans. Because of fans, because of people around me. That's why I love America. That's why I love my journey. I actually realize how tough is my wife is, how cool is my kids is. It's I think my family get way stronger. We like I felt in even in more love with Maria. Just think about that when I went to USA. That just like I said, I took the all money of my family and tore my meniscus. My wife never told me a word about that. Never complains. Bro, like she I think she barely understood what UFC is right now. At that time when I went there, like she just barely like almost naked, fight somewhere in the cage, like his wild sheet. Like it just and she trusts me. She supported me. Okay, let's do it, let's do it. And you know what? I'm in love with all my journey. And I believe, I hope with all whatever faith I have, nothing can break me anymore. So that's what I would say. That's what I learned.
Awesome, Slava. Well, hey, man, thank you so much for taking the time out of your evening to talk to me. I always love watching you in the cage. It's an absolute pleasure talking to you, and you're such an inspiration. It's amazing to see what your journey has come through and how you've reached your American dream here.
Thank you. I appreciate it. You have a good one too.
Absolutely. That's it for us tonight. I'm Carl Prusa. He is Slava Clause, Mr. Slava Borshchev. You watch him soon. Take it easy.
Ho, ho, ho.